Hey guys, welcome to my backyard. I am watering now. I normally prefer to water in the morning because this way the sun doesn't soak or dry up as much as what I'm putting down. But because of my job and several appointments I had to make today, I wasn't able to come out early in the morning, so I'm coming out now. It's a little late in the day, but as you can see, the sun is still out and shining pretty brightly. So welcome to my backyard. Most of the plants that you see here have been planted by my family. And then there's a few plants that have actually been planted by birds. Now I have been very neglectful. In the back you will see a rose bush. You don't really see much roses on it right now. I haven't pruned it since it last bloomed. So what has happened? The birds have built nests in my rose bush. I really don't want to disturb it. I don't know if there's any eggs in there, and I don't know if there's any baby birds sleeping or whatever, but I am afraid to touch it because in case the mommy bird, which I think just flew over there somewhere in the trees, yeah, I don't want her to attack me for coming for her kids. So I decided that I'm not going to prune it and I'm going to leave it alone. Those of you who know a little bit more about gardening, feel free to comment below so that I know. I'm not an expert by any means at all. And to be quite honest, if I were to do anything over, it would definitely be this garden. One thing that I did do that was good, that I suggest anybody who's beginning gardening, is to go ahead and go to plantadvisor.com, and it'll tell you what zone you're in. I believe in addition to the zone, it might be able to tell you what kind of soil you have. If not, you can always go to Green Thumb and they'll tell you. And sometimes what kind of water you have also affects what kind of garden you're going to have. Next, on Plant Advisor, it'll also tell you what plants will grow in your zone. It'll tell you what is a perennial and what is an annual. For those of you who don't know, a perennial comes back every year once you plant it. An annual does not. An annual, normally you plant it once and it doesn't come back. You do have a few that reseed themselves, and I think one of them is the sunflower because it already has seeds. The seeds will just come down, will just fall off if the birds don't get to it first. Now, the other thing you have to watch out for is weeds. Yeah, I gotta pull that up. I used to be angry about them, but you know what I found is that the birds, they listen to you and they plant weeds in your garden to cure you. That's right. If I were to take that up and I would boil it in a tea, that one of the ailments that I have is digestion. And that particular weed, when I looked up what it is and what it does, ooh, fly got on me, is it helps with the digestion. I shouldn't have let it get this big, of course, but hey, it is what it is. Time is of the essence. Sometimes too, when you have too many people putting their hands into into the garden, sometimes it kind of messes things up. Make sure you put like a name and say, okay, I planted this here, I planted that here, because sometimes one plant will strangle the other. One plant, I wish these flies would leave me alone. One plant that does will definitely strangle another plant is any kind of mint plant. This actually is considered a mint plant, but it's not that bad. But most mint plants strangle other mint plants, so you don't want them in your backyard at all. You see, when you're getting plants, you also want to read the label on the back to see whether or not it should be in full sun, in partial sun and shade, or full shade. All plants, just like all people can't grow in the same area, all plants can't grow in the same area. Now I want to just show you something. You see the little grasses and plants that are growing up in the cracks there? That is because, well, I don't really know why. It's because we used to have more, but what we found is that putting salt and vinegar will stop those things from growing. But another beautiful thing is it also deters raccoons from coming into the backyard. We had like 8 in our backyard, according to my neighbor. They would come up through those people's house and backyard over there, and then jump down to my next door neighbor's home, walk across the fence and jump down in my yard, then walk across the plants and everything and go climb the tree and then jump into my neighbor's yard and continue. And they would leave us presents that we did not like. So if you have raccoons like we did and you don't like them, then I will suggest using vinegar to get rid of them. Yeah. Now, you might say, well, why do we have some of these plants separated, put them in pots? Again, it has to do with soil, and it has to do with what they need. These need full sun, but they don't need the same kind of soil. And also, I believe with succulents, they don't really need as much water as the rest of the plants do. Yeah. Now, we don't have too many vegetables. Other years we used to, but again, because of the raccoons, we took up all of our vegetables because we were trying to figure out how to get rid of them. But now that we figured out how to do it, we'll probably put vegetables in again. Yeah, planting your own vegetables, not only is it healthy, but it's also cheaper. You guys pay for 3 tomatoes, you pay $1. Meanwhile, we can go to the church, get the seeds for free, and we have tomatoes all year round. So, anyway, just giving you a free backyard garden tour of my life. See you next time. Bye.